quiz. Okay, let's start. So we have stopped here to just to review how was the for loop. Firstly, so we have an initial point. This can be 0, 1, whatever you select. Then we have a termination point or control statement here, less than 10. These for loops are counter control loops. So you start from an initial point, and this process will repeat until a termination point. For example, for this case, it is less than 10. This will be semicolon. Don't forget to separate these phases. You need to put semicolon. Otherwise, if you put a comma, then you will get a syntax error. Inside the for loop, it should be semicolon. Then the increment or decrement. Or even if you want to increase it 2 times, how we are doing it, like this. And you write what you want here. For example, if you want to print from 0 to 9, what we are going to do, printf evaluate. If you run this code, what you are going to see on the output.
Mr.
Yes.
In the assignment, not the assignment, I mean the lab, we saw an example, and for the printf, it was printf bracket, these things, and then percentage %s. So I don't know what's that.
Like this.
Yeah, and then percentage %s/n, and then the word.
You know what is percentage %c? I teach you. What is percentage %c?
Character.
Yes, and percentage with the C, for example,
Yeah.
you can just print one character, okay? If you write like this, percentage C.
Oh, okay, percentage is C for one character, and percentage %s is for like a line or a sentence.
Exactly. If you write percentage %s, then it's combination of characters. We call it a string. Percentage %s is a string, and a string combination of characters. So you can write word, sentence, blah blah.
Yeah. Okay, if it was like, for example, we want to print if the value of I was, for example, A, only A, okay? And for example, another in the same code, it's also a sentence. We can use string, or is there another code?
Yes, for string also it can be just one character as well. It can be one character or combination of like multiple characters. But if you are using C, it is just one character. You need to keep in your mind. Okay, we will come to this point in more detail later on, so don't confuse yourself now. For the string, because in chapter 6 we are going to see arrays. Actually, string is an array. That's why I'm not going to the details about it. So in chapter 6 we will cover the arrays, the topic of arrays, and then we will go to the details of this string. And also the character and string, mostly we will use them with pointers in chapter 7. That's why now we are not dealing with them too much. So don't worry, we will come to that point, okay? Just now know that string, you can write word or sentences, and with C, you can write just one character, that's it. I hope it is clear. So here in the for loop, we stopped here. What we are expecting, starting from the initial point, which is 0, up to 9, up to the termination point, because after 9, this will be terminated. This will be not true. We will print the I value. So 0, 1, 2, up to 9. Of course, if you want to print from 0 to 10, what you should do, make this one equal, then you can print the 10. Or if you want to start from 1, then make this 1. This will be removed and it will start from 1 up to 10. And you know how you can write the same code with the while. I told you that you can do everything you are doing with for loop also using while, or vice versa. So how we can write it? You need to initialize first the. So in here you just write all the phases in one line in a horizontal dimension. So initialization, termination, and the increment. But in the while it is more vertical. So first you write initialization, then the condition. So here can you read the door, please? Sorry, someone knocked my door. So this is same as writing for loop like this. You have an initial point. We are checking the condition, which is less than or equal to 10, and printing the I value. And after printing, increment. So for loop is working in the same way. We have initial point, then we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, we are printing the value. Or we are doing some action. This is not certain. This is just an example. So in all the loops, we have the same idea. Start from an initial point, check the condition, do the action, and increment. In the while, it's in order, so you can directly understand it. You have initial point, you are checking the condition, do the action, and increment. And after, when you increase it, go back to the beginning. After the increment, again, you will come to that point and check the condition. So we covered this once already. Here we have an example. So this is same as this one, you know, because x here is 2, y is given as 10. So basically j is x, which is 2, and 4 times 2 times 10, it is 80, and j plus equal 5. So what does it mean? Instead of increasing 1 by 1, you are increasing, so we wrote something like this. I is equal to 2 up to 80. So what does this mean? Can anyone reply to me?
Increase it by 5 times
Exactly. So what we are expecting as an output, if I write a code like this, if I print I values, I will start from 2, increase it 5 by 5, not 1 by 1. Because if you write plus plus, this means increase it 1. But if you write plus equal 5, this is same as, you know, I is equal to I plus 5. So in each iteration, we are increasing it by 5. So we will start from the initial point 2 and increase it 5 by 5. So 2, 7, 12, 17.
That's 77.
Sorry. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, I didn't get you. Yes.
we can do it with the while too, right?
What we can do?
The I plus 5. We can do it with while I is equal to 2, and then in the last line, we do...
Yes, in the while, then you will select this one as 2, initial point. termination 80, and this one again same, plus equals 5. These are the exactly same operation. Okay, and this will goes up to the termination point, which is 80. I don't know where it will stop. Yeah, but most probably it will be 77. So after 77, you will increase it by 5. It will be 82, and it will be bigger than 80. So the program will terminate. We will no, the for loop will terminate. So we will exit from the for loop or the while loop. Notes about the for statement: increment may be negative. It's not a certain thing that it will just increase. It can decrease as well. So you can change this code to minus minus, but of course if it is minus minus, then this will be, let's say, start from 80 up to, so the initial point is now 80. It will continue up to 2, and we will decrease it 1 by 1 or 5 by 5. This time and here again, so initial point will be 80 greater equal to 2. Let's say again we decrease it by 5. So what we are expecting, we will start from 80, decrease it 5 by 5. Up to, because after 5 it will be 0, so it is less than 2. The condition is false. We will exit from the loops. Is there any question? We did it also before for the factorial, factorial, because you need to decrease it and multiply with the previous value. So we did such an example with the decrement. If the loop condition is initially false, the body of the for statement is not performed. Of course, if it is already false, so it will be not performed. Control proceeds with the next statement after the for statement. Control variable often printed or used inside for body, but not necessary. Although the value of the control variable can be changed in the body of a for loop, this can lead to subtle errors. It's best to not change it. What is the control variable here? Is the I, for example, or you can define it as a counter. So if we are using a control variable in the loop, please don't change it inside the statement. So don't do any action here as well, like this. Just change the control variable inside the for loop. Otherwise, you might do some mistakes, some errors. We saw this before. This is the flowchart or for loop. You have an initial point. First, you check the termination. If it is true, you do the action. Increase it, come back again, check the condition, do the action, increase it, come back again, until the false condition appears. When it is false, we will exit from the for, and we will do the next action. Okay, here we have an example. We did this one. What is this one? Okay. So any idea what we are doing here? It is easy because we did this.
Yeah. It's number is initialization is 2, and then the number at 100 will be stopped, the final step, and then you're adding 2 each time.
Exactly. So we are adding actually the even numbers from 2 to 100, right?
Yes.
So this is the operation that we are doing. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. All the even numbers starting from 2 up to 100 plus 100. And let's check what will be the result. It is 2,550. And if you want to do, of course, the odd numbers starting from 1, this time you will start it from 1 and increase it 2 by 2, and it will be odd numbers. So 1 plus 3 plus up to 99. And how it is working, just to do it for a couple of examples. So in the first iteration, you know, of course, first initialize all your variables. Sum is equal to 0, and number is the control variable here. So in the first iteration, number is equal to 1. Then sum is equal to, you know, this is same as sum is equal to sum plus number. What is the previous value for the sum? It is started as 0, 0 plus the number. What is number? It is 1. Sorry, I think I have this connection. 0 plus 1. So we started from 1. Then you check, you will increase it by 2. So on the second iteration, it will be 3. You check the condition for 3. It is true. It is less than. Yes.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes.
For loop, for example, if we use plus plus number or number plus plus, does it make a difference? Or
What
not?
do you mean, like this?
Yeah.
If you use this one, it will increase 1 by 1, but we want to increase it 2 by 2.
No, leave the question. I'm just talking about generally about for loop.
Yes, we were writing like this, right?
Yeah. If we use plus plus number, will it make a difference?
Like this.
No, plus plus number.
No. It will be not same.
Yeah, this. It doesn't make a difference, right?
No, it will be the same. It will be the
Yeah,
same.
okay.
Because it doesn't matter here if you increase it before or after. But mostly we are writing like this.
No, because after it is a printf. The printf of the counter. Printf of number, I mean.
But you see, there is no printer for anything here. Also,
No, in the DevC actual code, the one you're doing now.
but
Yeah,
it's printf is after the for loop.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
even though it will not matter, because you know in the while how it is. This is same as I told you, like this. You have initial point 1. This is of course number. We started from 1. We will go up to 100. Sum plus is equal to number. And then number plus plus or plus plus number, right? Does it matter in this stage, in the while? If you write here plus plus number or number plus plus, is there any difference? So the same idea. Here also there is no difference. Because what we are doing in this one, you are taking the number, increase it, you take the increment and check the condition. Or what you can do, you can increase it, take the number and check the condition. So at the end, you will increase it and check the condition. So it will be the same operation.
Okay.
I hope it is clear. So then we make number equal to 3. We check the condition. It is less than 100. What we are going to do, sum is equal to sum plus number. The initial value for the sum is 1. The number is 3. So we updated at 4. So this, let's do one more. After that, you will increase the number again by 2. So number will be 5. We check the condition. It is less than 100. So the condition is true. We will do the action. What is the previous value for the sum? It is 4. 4 plus number, which is 5, is equal to 9. So this will continue. When number is equal to 99, we will do the last sum and finish the summation, finish this for loop. Okay, here we have another example. Again, we have a for loop.
Sir, the screen is frozen.
Sorry.
The
Now,
screen is frozen.
now is it okay?
Still frozen.
It is frozen to everyone, or
No, it's not.
No, for me.
No, no, not for me.
It's not.
It's fine for me.
I think it's about maybe your internet connection. Wait a little bit, I think it will be fixed. Okay, so here we have another example. We did this example before with the while loop. What we are going to do, we have 5 or 10 students. Let's say we have 10 students. We are going to take the grade from the user and calculate the average. As you see, we started from 0, less than 10. So basically, we will have 10 students, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 9. It is 10. We will take the grades from the user, add them up, and calculate the average. Let's make it for 5 to easier. Please enter the grade for the first student. And 10. The average is 46. So we add all these numbers divided by 5 or divided by counter. Same. Add them up, divide them by the counter. But here, please be careful, because if you start this one from 1 and make this one equal, so what will happen? In the last one, it is like, if we are using counter for the number of students, because you know this can be also sentinel value that you don't know the number of students, so you might use the counter. Careful about. Okay, so if you started from 1, what will happen? In the first one, you know, counter is equal to 1. You check the condition, it is true. You take the grade. Let's say the user entered 50. Then sum will be 0 plus 50, which is 50. Of course, you initialize sum as 0. Then you increase the counter, check the condition, it is true. 2, let's say user entered 60. So sum will be 50 plus 60, which is 110. Then the third, you increase the counter again. Counter is equal to 3. You check the condition. It is true. the user entered 80. What will happen? 110 plus 80, 190. Again, we increase the counter up to 4. Counter 4. We check the condition. It is true. Take the grade from the user. Grade. Let's say the grade is equal to 70. So sum is equal to 190 plus 70, the initial value plus the new value, 260. Okay, now we will come to the last point, which is the 5th iteration. Here is the critical point. Counter, you update it as 5. You take the grade again, let's say 40. So what will happen? Sum will be equal to 260 plus 40, which is 300. Okay, then after this one, the counter will be increased again. Okay, counter will be 6, because what we did this operation. After that, we are increasing the counter. Counter will become 6. We check the condition, it is false. We exit from the loop. But you should be careful that counter is increased again. So counter is updated as 6. So how we need to change this average? If you keep it as counter, it is false because the number of students are 5. So if you started from 1 and make it less or equal to 5, you need to update this average as counter minus 1 because counter is updated 6, but we have 5 students. Is that clear?
Should we write this counter equal 1, counter equal 2, counter equal 3, or not?
What?
Should we write this from 1 to 6?
No, this is to show you like how the loop is working.
Yes.
Like it's the iteration by iteration, what's happening inside the loop.
Yes.
Or how was the initial one? 0 less than 5. So what will happen? This will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 students. Again, at the end, I am going to update this one to 5. So the counter, the last value is 5, and the number of students is 5. So I can keep this one as counter. So you should be careful about it. If you start from 0, the counter will be the number that you want. But if you started from 1,
You should write minus 1.
it will be, yes, it will be 1 more than what you are expecting. Okay.
So how about if we write for counter is equals to 5, equal 5?
Like this.
Yes.
But how this loop will work? Because
Because you're saying it is equal to 5. How will and counter is equal to 1? You had to have a like maximum so that it will break it.
Exactly that we should stop when it reaches to 5.
All right.
Start from 5, less than 5. Then when you increase up to 5, it will stop. So we are not writing, that's why like equal here. You should write less, greater, because we call it counter control loop, okay?
All right.
If you just want the odd numbers, how can we do?
Plus 1.
We did it here in this example. You see? You start from 1 up to 100, increase it by 2. So we are adding the odd numbers.
Yes, okay.
And I will have one more example for you. Okay, here your question is good. So what if, okay, in this example, what we did in here, we already put the numbers inside the for loop. But what if the user is entering the numbers and we are checking they are even or odd? Any idea how we can do that? The user is entering a number. Let's say user enters 11. So we are going to check
I
if
think
this number is even or odd.
we
We
can do
divide by 2 and with model by
yeah
2.
model. No, I
Ex-
was gonna say from the beginning, scan
Exactly.
if the number and then divide model by 2 and that's it.
Yes, you are right. So here we have the example. So let's say we are taking 10 numbers from the user with the scanf. Then how we are doing with the modulo? What's modulo means? The reminder. If you say number modulo 2 is equal to 0, this means when you divide a number by 2, the remainder part is 0, which is same as the number is even, because it means that it is divisible by 2. So if it is divisible by 2, remainder will be 0. Printf an even number, the number is even, else printf is an odd number. You see we started from 1 to 10. We are taking the number from the user. If number modulo 2 is equal to 0, divisible by 0, this means remainder when divided by 2 is 0, so divisible by 2, which is even number. Or you can do vice versa. If you want to check first the odd number, what you are going to do, when you divide it by 2, the remainder should be 1. Then here you will change it as odd, and this one as even. Let's try, for example, 10. You see, 10 is an even number, because what's happening? We are coming to here, 10 modulo 2 is 0, so this condition is false. We are going to the else, printing on the screen. This percentage D is 10. 10 is an even number. Or if you write 99, sorry, something happened. I think because I put press slash. Yes, okay. And when I entered a odd number, what will happen? 99. We check the modulo. 99 modulo by 2. The remainder will be 1 when you divide 99 by 2. So what will happen? The condition of if will be true. We will print on the screen 99 is an odd number. Is that clear? Any question?
What's equal mean?
If you are using, this means equal 1. If you are using equal symbol inside the if, you should use it as equal equal. If you use it like this, it's a logical error, okay? If you use it like this condition will be always 1. So it will be always true. So that's why you need to use equal equal.
Okay.
But rather than if you are doing assignment like this, you should use just 1 equal, like we did before. But inside the if, so this is equality, we call it. So this means if number 2 equal 1. But this is assignment. We are doing this operation, assigning to the left. So this is the difference. Be careful. Inside the if, use it equal equal. Otherwise, it will be a logical error. Okay, let's do a harder task. How we can check if a number is prime? You know, what are the prime numbers? Just divisible by themselves. For example, 2 is a prime number because it is just divisible by 2. 3, prime number, because it is just divisible by 3. 4 is not a prime number because it is also divisible by 2. 5 is a prime number, just divisible by. So what is the meaning of prime number? Just divisible by themselves and 1. That's it. 7, then 8 is not prime, 9 is not prime, 10 is not prime, 11 is prime, 13, 17, and so on. So let's write a code to check if a number is prime. Any idea how we can do that? For example, how we can detect that 17 is prime or not?
Maybe we use like loop
Yes, we will use a loop.
for
How
every
we can check the
divide
divisible
every
part?
number less than 17.
So
And
what we need to do? Yes, you are right. You
we
are
divide
close.
every number less than we get the middle of every number less than 17, and if one of them is 0, we break the loop.
Exactly. So what we are going to do actually, for example, for 17 or any prime number, it shouldn't be divisible by any number less than 17, right? So we will create a for loop. We will increase the number starting from 1 up to 16 for this one, divide it by 17, and check the modulo. If the modulo is equal to 0 for each of them, then it will be a prime number. This means, sorry, if it is not less, if the modulo, let's say if modulo number so what does this mean? Sorry. Let's say we have a for loop starting from 1 up to number. Then if number modulo I is equal to 0, so we will start from 1. If the number is 17, let's say the user entered 17, we will start from 1 up to 17. So 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, 16. We check the modulo. If the modulo is 0 for all of them, and if the modulo is, let's say, not 0, because if it is 0, this means it is divisible. If it is not 0, this means it's not divisible. We call it printf prime number. So the basic idea here, I will show you the code as well. The basic idea, start from 1, divide them all by 17, and check the remainder. If the remainder is equal to 0, this means 17 is, for example, if it is not 17 but 16, what will happen? When you divide 16 by 2, when I will be 1, then 2. When you divide 16 by 2, the remainder will be 0. So the modulo will be 0. This means it's not a prime number. Let's check the code. Okay, here we have a code. This A is the number. We are getting it from the user. I write a while loop. Why I did it? Because I select a sentinel value. When we press 0, we will exit from the loop like this. For example, 90. It will tell us if the 90 is prime or not. Number is not prime. 90 is divisible by 2. Then 87. Again, number is not prime because it is divisible by 3. And maybe other numbers as well. Then 17. You see, number is prime. 11. Number is prime because it is not divisible by any number except itself. Then 9 is not prime. And when we press 0, we will exit from the loop. This is a sentinel control loop. That's why we use this while loop. We call while a is not equal to 0 and a is the number. You can also change it as number. Okay, if the number A, if you enter the 0 value, what will happen? This condition will be false. We will exit from the while loop and the program will end. So let's check how this is working. Because in here I try to explain you basically, but of course you should check something else. Okay, as I told you, we are checking, we use a for loop. This is number as well. The user is entering a number. We are using a scanf. And what we are going to try, starting from 2 or 1, does not matter, up to the number, we will check if we are dividing any number. So if number is dividing, then we are increasing the flag. And why we are using this flag? To check if it is divisible or not. Let's try an example, you will understand. Let's say user entered number is equal to 7. So what will happen? While number is not equal to 0, this condition is false. We will enter to the while loop. We define a flag value. This flag value is just we define it to detect if it is divisible or not. If flag value stays as 0 in all repetitions here, this means it is not divisible by any number. But if the flag number is increased, then it is divisible by number. We will call it not prime, as you see. If flag stays at 0, this means this if condition will be never true. So if it is not true, it is not divisible by any number. So you will not increase the flag. So when you don't increase the flag, it will stay as 0. We will call it number is prime. If the flag is increased, let's say for 9, when I is equal to 3, it will be equal to 0. So this condition will be true. The flat number will increase. So this means it is divisible. So if the flag number is 1, we are going to the else condition. Printf number is not prime. Let's check first with the 7. The flag is 0 indeed. So and flag is 0. So we will start this for loop. So in the first iteration, we start from 2. We will check number modulo 2. What is the number? It is 7. What is 7 modulo 2? It is equal to 1. So this condition will be false. We will not do any action because this is false. We will not increase the flag. So when any number is divisible, we will increase the flag. If it is not divisible, the flag will be stay as same. So flag is still 0. On the second iteration, here I is equal to 2. Then we increase the I by 1. I is equal to 3. We will do the modulo, number modulo 3, because we are doing number modulo I. What is I? It is 3 num. So we will check all the numbers up to 6. 7 modulo 3, it is again 1. The remainder will be 1. So this condition is again false. So we will not increase the flag. We increase the modulo by 1. I is equal to 4. We will check the 7 modulo 4. What is the result? It is 3. We check the condition. Again, it is false because it is not equal to 0. We increase again. Go to 7 modulo 5. It is 2. This condition is again false. We didn't touch the flag. Then the last iteration. Actually, what is the last iteration? Number minus 1. If you enter 7, you will check the values up to 6. If you enter 11, you will check the values up to 10. Then you increase the I6, Again, 7 modulo 6. It is 1. This condition is false. So the flag number is stayed as 0 because we checked all the numbers. There is no divisible number. There is no number that dividing 7. So what will happen? This condition will be always false. You will not touch the flag value. So flag is equal to 0. This means except 7, no number is dividing the 7. We check the condition. If flag is 0, we didn't touch the flag. Printf number is prime. So on the screen we will see number is prime. Is that clear? Let's check one number that is not prime. Yes, 6. So again, we will start from I is equal to 2. When number is 6, again, we check the condition. It is not equal to 0. We are inside the while loop. So we will keep repeating the action. So again, we start, flag is again initialized as 0. Number is 6. Flag is equal to 0. We start from 2. We check the condition for 6 modulo 2. Number modulo I. What is I? It is equal to 2. So 6 modulo 2. What is the modulo? It is equal to 0. Because 6 is divisible by 2. So what will happen? This condition will be true. We will increase the flag value. Even if the flag value just increase once, it is enough for us. This means it is divisible by a number, so it's not a prime number.
Teacher,
Yes.
if you want the program to bring which value, like 6, we can say like it could be divided by 2 or 3. If you want to program bring us the dividers, how can we do this?
You want to also show the dividers? Okay, first let me finish this one, then we will think about it, okay? But I think it will be much more complex to also detect the dividers. But we can do it maybe, we will think. So flag is 1. Then what will happen? We will increase the I by 1, 3. Then 6 modulo 3. Again, it is divisible by 3. It is 0. This condition will be again true. So we will increase the flag value. So flag will be equal to 2. 1 plus 1, 2. After that, we will check 6 modulo 4. It is 2. The condition will be not true. Flag will stay as 2. So flag still 2. Then the fourth iteration, 6 modulo 5. I is 5. 6 modulo 5 is 1. Flag again will be the same because this condition is false. So at the end, flag remains as 2. So we check the condition for 0. This is false. Else printf number is not prime. So because flag is not 0, it is divisible by a number. So what we are going to print on the screen, number is not prime. So can you repeat your question again? So you want me to, for example, for 6 to write it is divisible by 2 and 3?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes, yes.
Let me check. Okay, let me think about it. Don't waste time, and I will give it in the next lecture. Okay, I will update this code and give it to you, because I think we need to do all the operations in the for loop, and it will change a bit. I need time for it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, I will do. Okay, where we stopped? We did this one. We did this one. Here we have an example. A person invests $1,000 in a saving account yielding 5% interest. Assuming that all interest is left on deposit in account, calculate and print the amount of money in the account at the end of each year for 10 years. So a person has 10,000, you know, when you put some money to the bank, and if it is saving account, every year he will get more 5%. For example, in the first year, so what will happen? If I put $1,000 to the bank with these ratings, and it's saying that we will get more 5%. At the end of the first year, what we will get? 1,050. So I will save $50. And this, every year, this will increase. Second year, we will have some more money, so I will have this one. Again, I will add 5%. Third year, fourth year, and so on. And here there is a mathematical formula for it. And we are going to calculate my total money at the end of the 10 years. So for this operation, we have a mathematical formula. A is my total money. A is the amount of deposit at the end of the 10th year. For this example is the 10th year. So after the 10th year, how much money I have in the bank account. P is the original amount invested in the beginning. For this example, it is $1,000. R is the annual interest rate. So R is 5%, or 0.05. And N is the number of years. So for this example again, it is 10 years. So using this formula, we are going to calculate my money in the account, or the person's money in the account, after 10 years. Anyone remembers how I can write this 1 plus R to power N? I told you this one before.
First, we need to include some library-based mathematics.
Exactly. We need to include first the mathematics library, maths.h. Then we are going to use a special function. Special function defines in maths library. POW. How we are using the POW function? If you write, for example, POW32, what does it mean? It is same as 3 to power 2 to power 3, which is 8. Or if you write POW AB, so what does it mean? A to power B. So how I can write down this one? How I can write 1 plus R to power N with using the POW function.
We put it in the brackets, then comma, then N.
You want to write this one, power N.
And close the brackets.
So power 1 plus R power N, right?
I thought maybe we put extra brackets about around 1 plus R.
Why? Here.
Yes.
I don't think it matters, but you can do it, yes. Because at the end, we will take 1 plus r, does not matter. If r is 0.5, 0.05, what will happen? So you don't need a parenthesis for it.
No, I thought maybe the program will take 0.5 to the power n and then add it to 1.
No. It will take like this. This program will take directly 1.005 as 1.05. Okay. So you can write 1 plus r as well. So as I told you, to use this power function, because we have a power operation, first you need to include the mathematics library. It is math.h. Like before, we were including
Sorry, I think also we need to put the brackets to the 1 plus r for defining the data type.
what you mean.
For example, if it's integer, it's not gonna calculate it like that. We need to define it as a double or float.
Yes, but does not matter. Even if it is integer, it will do the operation. Because if you write, for example, imagine we write here 1 plus 2, 2, 3. So what will happen here? 1 plus 2, it is 3. So this program will calculate us 3 to power 3, which is 27.
If it becomes 2.5, for example, 1 plus 1.5, is it calculated as a 2.5, even though it is an integer?
Yes.
Okay.
If you write here 1.5, because we are separating them with comma, so we are doing the operation here, 1 plus 1.5, taking as 2.5, then going to this one and put it to like power 2.5 power 3. And you see here as well, they didn't put parentheses. This is the original code of the book. This is, by the way, figure 4.6 from the book. Okay, let's do it. First, let me show you how the program is working. We have original 1000. In the first year, it is 1050. Every year we are saving 5%. So if you put 5,000, what is the 5% of 1000? It is 50,000. So at the end of the first year, we have 1050. Then again, with this money, you are taking the 5% of this money, adding it to the original money, and it will be in the second year, you will have 1102.50, and so on. And at the end, at the 10th year, we will have this money, 1628.89. So we saved almost $300 at the end of this 10th year. The program is designed in this way, so we are giving the amount of deposit in each year. So we put a for loop 1 to 10, the first year up to the 10th year, and we are printing all these values on the screen. Let's see how it is working. So here, your friend asked me before, what is S means? And I told him that it's string, like you can write words, sentences, blah, blah. And what is this for S means? Or it can be also for the blah, blah, anything. You see here, it is for the, or 21.2F. What does it mean? Let me show you. So this S is for the year, okay? It's a string, it's word or sentence. This S refers for the year. You see this first one is the year, and the second one is the amount of deposit. So what does for means? It means put 4 spaces. Here I can show you. Put 4 spaces starting from here. So 1, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't need any space. But for example, with 1, I also write it 4D. So what will happen? Including this one, I need to have 4 spaces. So because we have 1, we need to put 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th one. But if it is already 4, like this, you will not give any space. Or for this one, you see it is 21 amount of deposit. So you start from here, 1, sorry. So 1, so starting from here up to here, it should be 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Sorry. Starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Starting from here up to the end, we have 21 spaces, including the characters, or it can be number as well. For example, here as well, starting from here up to here, it is 21 because we defined as 21. Is that clear? So this is just to put some spaces before your numbers or to create a list like that. Because what we did, we printf this one first, year and amount of deposit with that much space, 4S and 21S. Then we are printing the numbers as well, these numbers for the year. We are writing 4D, you see 4S and 4D. So this one is under the year. It will not go here because they have the same space. Is that clear?
So the year, where is it in the code? The name of the year, yani, how to say it?
What?
The year is working in the counter, right?
Yes, here. 1 to 10. Because we have 10 years.
So when we put it in the printf, we use the S as its string, right?
Yes, here we use string for year and amount of deposit, like this. Year, amount of deposit. Then under the year, we put the 4 counter, this one, 1 up to 10, you see. With same amount of space, so they are all under the year. This is 4S, this is 4D. As I told you, start from the beginning. Count 4 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And for this one as well, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why they are under the year. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
And here, this 21 is the spaces that we are giving from the beginning. And dot to F, for the floating point. So don't confuse. But these are, it's just to print on the screen clearly in a good manner, like this. Because if you put year and this one is here, it's not seems good. So that's why we are organizing our list. All of them will be under the year or amount of deposit. All of them will be under the amount of deposit. Okay, so we told you before, the principal is the starting money, the original money. For example, here it is 1,000. Let me show you. It is 1,000. Rate is the annual rate. the yielding money, which is 5%. What is it? Actually 0.05. Year, it is starting from 1 to 10. Or if you just want to see the final real, you don't need to do it like this. Sorry, you don't need to print them on the screen in every iteration. But in this code, we are seeing all the savings for each year. And amount is the money, the total money at the end of the 10th year or at the end of the years. This one. A we defined as amount. P is the principal, the original money. R is the rate in the code. So A is the amount, P is the principal, R is the rate, which is 0.05, and N is the year. So we have 10 years. That's why we started our loop from 1 up to 10, and we will check each year. 1, 2, 3, up to 10. You saw on the screen. And this is directly our formulation. It is quite easy to see. What is my formulation? Amount is equal to principal times 1 plus rate over n. So amount, principal times, we use power for 1 plus r to power n, 1 plus rate, comma, year. Because n is the year. Is that clear? And in each iteration, we are printing this amount value, the total value after each year. So this is the amount, and this is the year. And year is already defined inside the for loop. So it will start from 1 up to 10. This will be first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10. And you know this rate we already defined as 0.05. So this is 0.05. So we are going to take 1 plus 0.05 to power the year. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. Any question about that?
Sir, I don't understand how we print that separately like a table.
Okay, look. We set year, right? And we write for S. Let me show you what you write with S, what will happen. For this one, this does not. This one, if I write S. Sorry, what's happening? You see? If I just write S, which is the string, amount of deposit will start immediately after the year. Okay? But if you write 21S and write it again, so starting from here up to the end of this T, there will be 21 spaces. So that's why this is, let's say, if this is 17, we give here 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that clear?
What about first one? For example, I expect that there is also 4 spaces before year.
No, because we are starting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there will be no space. But if you write 5, sorry, if you write 5,
Also, the characters also count.
sorry, I disconnected. So if you write, you said me that if you are expecting to have 4 spaces, right here.
Yes.
If you want to have 4 spaces, look, because these spaces are including these characters as well. When you write 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, no space. But if you want to have also more 4 spaces, you need to write 8s.
Oh, so characters also count.
Yes. You
Okay.
see here now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting from the end of the string up to the beginning, it is 8 total.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay. Another question?
So can you send the code in the chat?
Yes. But you can also find this one on the book codes.
Okay, sir.
I'm sending it. Okay, let's continue. Do not use variables of type float or double to perform monetary calculations. The impedances of floating point numbers can cause errors that will result in incorrect monetary values. So as I told you before, if you are using a floating number and when you are printing on the screen, please put some precision. .2f, 3f, 4f, whatever. This one we did before in the last lecture, so I am skipping it. The grade one that we were putting the letter grades and calculating how many letter grades we have, blah blah. We did this one, EOF. We did this one, this one. Okay. Let's do a couple of more examples about the for loop. Okay, again, we have here an example. We did this before with the while. I want to repeat it with the for loop. We have letter grades. The user will enter the grade, and we are going to print the number of the letter grades. As we did in the for while loop, first we are initializing the letter grades, A, B, C, D, F. Then we define a grade that we are taking from the user. This is the counter that we are using on the loop. You know, we are starting from 1. In here, we have a static number of students, so it can be 10. Let's say we have 10 students, starting from 1 up to 10. Take the grade and check the condition. If it is greater than 80, increase the number of A's, number of B, C, D, and F. After that, print them on the screen. So as you see, it is very similar. What's happening? It is very similar with the while. Just what we change here. Here.
You forgot semicolon in B++.
Yes. So 80, 70, 65, 43, 95. You know, we said if grade is greater than 80, increase the number of A's. So 80 and 95 is greater than A. So then we have 1B, which is greater than 70, 60. We don't have D, and less than 50, it is F. I will not go to all the details because we did this one before. Just how we did it before. We had a while loop. Instead of this one, we write like this. It is the same code.
Sir, is this document is on the LMS, right?
Sorry?
This coding is on the element, for example.
Yes. You can find them in the lecture examples. This is lecture examples. It's written as for example 6.
Thank you.
So in the while loop, how we did it, we initialize counter as 1. While instead of this for loop, we write the while, open it, do the actions, and increase it at the end. That's why I will not do it step by step. Just how, you know, we have 5 students or 10 students. We are starting from 1 up to 5, increase the counter 1 by 1, and each iteration, check the grade and increase the specific letter counter. After the increment, print them on the screen when all the loops are finished.
So I want to ask something about this example, but something different. For example, if we want to calculate the average grade of all students, I mean, we calculate all the grades one by one, add them, and divide it to the number of students. Can
Yes.
we check it on the same if conditions, or we need to define another if statements?
No, here what for the average?
Yes.
But for the average, you don't need any if. You will just define some sum, right? Integers.
Yes, but for checking the grade again, letter grade.
But for the average, why you need to check the letter grade? You will just add the number grades, right? And divide it by the total number of students.
Yes, then we get the number for the average, but we need to letter grade according to that average grade.
For example, you will distribute them. Yes, you can do that. But you need to have a distribution. I don't know, like how? You mean like we will calculate the average?
I mean, I can do that by defining another if statements. Instead of grade, we can say average and check them again. But I wonder that if we can check it on the same if statement with the grade.
But let's make it clear. First, we are going to calculate the average, right?
Yes.
Then we are going to say, for example, if the grade is greater than or equal to average plus 20, make A, something like this, right?
So screen is frozen.
Now?
Still frozen.
But I think I got your question. First, you need to calculate the average with another loop, okay?
Yes.
But to do that, I think we need arrays. I'm not sure if we can do it with this one, because in each iteration we will take the grade. We need to first calculate the average, then put the letter grades, right?
Yes.
So I think to do that we need arrays. We need to save them in some memory.
So, sir, the only option is that creating another if statement with instead of with variable grade, we use average, right?
Yes, we can calculate the average. But later on, if you need to use this grade, you need to save it to the memory. Because we need to save it as this is the grade for student 1, grade for student 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If they are not in the memory, how we are going to use them? So we should save them first in memory. That's why.
Okay, sir.
That's why we need to cover the arrays first. Arrays are the memory elements. We need to save them to the memory, then check with the average.
Because the yesterday assignment, we are asked to do something like that. But I was wondering that we can do it at the one time instead of creating lots of if statements.
What they ask you, but can you like tell me specifically?
For example, they ask a system. We enter the number of courses first, and then for each courses we enter the marks.
Okay.
At the end of until we enter the grades, letter grade should be seen at the system. At the end, we calculate the average all of the courses and corresponding letter grade of this average as well.
Okay, but you are asking me something else. I told something else. Like you can do it, yes, in one for loop. Because here as well I can if I write here sum is equal to sum plus grade, right? I will add all the numbers. Then at the end I will write sum is equal to sum over counter. So I will calculate the average. But you will do it for I think couple of lectures, right? Not just one lecture.
No, for all of the lectures.
So you need to, I think, create one more while loop or for loop. It will be not just one nested for loop.
Can I send you what I did so you can more understand me easily? Because I achieved very long to achieve it. That's why I'm asking, is there any short way to do it?
Can you ask it to the lab assistant?
Okay.
Because they are, more familiar with the codes in the lab. I don't know
sir.
even the real task. You can take help from the assistant. Okay, let's continue. I think it is enough for today. We finish almost the for loops. Then I will do some examples from the example next lecture. And we will start also to the double nested for loops like this. Until now, we just see single nested loops. We have just one for loop or one while loop like this. But in the next lecture, we are going to start the double nested for loops. And maybe, I don't know, your question is related with the double nested for loops. I am not sure. One for the lectures and the other for the letter grades. Okay, let me take the attendance. Davut Demirol. Ervan Urkaya.
Present.
Hasan Salah.
Yes.
Barış Yeral.
Yes, sir.
Mustafa Melih Toslak.
Yes, sir.
Mustafa Arşınel. Mert Taner Salim. Mert Taner Salim. Ekin Ejderoğlu.
Here, sir.
Muhammed El Bushra. Turki Huwail. Asem Ali Abd. Ammar Abdurrahman.
Yes, here, teacher.
Muhammed Alattas. Muhammed Alattas. Litem Fatma Ateş.
Yes, hocam.
Ali Çetiner. Ali Çetiner. Mesih. Doğukan Birdal.
Yes, sir.
Hüseyin Eren Mert.
Yes, sir.
Emre Özkaya. Sultan Akcansoy.
Yes, sir.
Oyalak Taşlı. Mustafa Hacet.
Yes, sir.
Virkan Uyar.
Present.
Mustafa
Sir,
Bolat.
sorry. Can you
Here,
hear me now?
teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, Ali Chetner. I tried to use my computer's microphone, but it didn't work.
Yes, you are here.
Wonderful.
Mustafa Bolat.
Here, teacher.
Ergül amca.
Here, teacher.
Kürşat Berkalkan.
Present.
Tamal Badi. Muhammed Abubakar Abu Soba. Solane Ingrid. Hamza İsa.
Yes, sir.
Al Mahdi Suvan.
Here, sir.
Muad Hamayun.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Muhammed Fatih El Fadul.
Here, sir.
Muhammed El Muzarahi.
Present, sir.
Abu Bakar Sahabi.
Sorry, teacher, you skipped my name.
What is your name?
Lane.
What?
Lane.
Solana. Wait.
Yeah.
Abu Bakar Fatih,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Zakaria Fajuni,
Present.
Osama Faradan,
Present.
Münaba,
Present.
Kate Tanya Tanichi, Lantvardı Lamani,
Present, sir.
Prince Mitchell.
I'm so sorry. Here.
Yes.
Emre Özkaya.
Where were you?
Yes. I'm missing.
Teacher, I am here. Turkey, number 10.
Why you didn't tell me present then? Okay, Prince Mitchell, are you here?
I'm Emre Özkaya, teacher.
I checked you, Emre. Prince Mitchell.
Present.
Okay. Ahmet Muhammed. Salem Başat.
Yes, sir.
Aliyu Yakubu. Yosef El Said. Sharif Al Sharif.
I'm here, teacher.
Merve Güneyhan.
Here.
Abdullah Karis.
Present.
Raymond Stephen.
Present.
Blessing Mac.
Present.
Abbas Faki.
Present, sir.
Obina Charles.
Present.
Hüseyin El Yasin.
Present, sir.
Ahmed Osman.
Yes, teacher.
Anas Alvarki. Anas Alvarki. Not present. Muhammed Al-Bashar. Al-Abhar.
Yes.
Hashem Alatra. Hashim Alatra. Bryce Leki.
Yes, sir.
Osama Chaplu.
Present.
Okay. Now I will take for the info.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Ahmed Taner Salim.
1 minute. Mihriban Özdemir.
Yes, I'm here.
Yavaş. Grace Ojo. Grace Ojo. Not present.
I'm here, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay. Okay. You. Is there any question or problem?
Teacher, my internet connection was bad.
Your name?
I think Mert Taner Salim. First page, I think 6
Mert Taner Salim.
or 7.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I clicked you.
Thank you.
Teacher, I missed
Thank
my.
you, doctor.
What?
I missed my name. I am here.
What is? Can you write to the chat? What is your name? But is it Turkey?
Yes.
I checked you, I think. Anyone else? I think I checked you, but let me check.
Hello,
Yes.
Professor. My name is Anas. I'm present. I just went
to the restroom.
What is your name?
Anna Sali. I've been here the whole time. I just went to the restroom.
Mert Taner Salim.
No, Anna Sali.
What is your student number?
2080.
080. Starting.
Yeah, yes, it starts with 20.
208. Okay. Anas var ki. What is your name? Hello.
Yes, he was Anas Arar, yes.
What is your name? Or it is Anas?
Yes, he was Anas.
Yes.
And the other one, Turkey.
Yes. No, I see my name here as a present. Number
Okay.
10.
So no problem. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, guys. See you then next week. Take care.
See you. Bye.
Thank you.